A Houthi missile attack on a Red Sea merchant ship on Wednesday left several people dead, the U.S. military said. Yemen's Houthis claimed responsibility for the attack, with a military spokesperson confirming it in a televised address. The attack set the Greek-owned Barbados-flagged ship True Confidence ablaze around 50 nautical miles off the coast of Yemen's port of Aden. These are the first fatalities reported since the Houthis began strikes against shipping in one of the world's busiest sea lanes in mid-November. They have said they are acting in solidarity with Palestinians to oppose Israel's military actions in Gaza. Britain and the United States have been launching retaliatory strikes against the Houthis, and the confirmation of fatalities could lead to pressure for stronger military action. 4 days ago, a UK-owned bulk carrier became the first ship to sink as a result of a Houthi attack, after floating for 2 weeks with severe damage from a missile strike. All crew were safely evacuated. While the Houthis say they would attack vessels with links to the United Kingdom, the United States, and Israel, shipping industry sources say all ships could be at risk.
This cargo ship, the Ruby Mar, has now sunk after it was attacked by the Houthis last month, according to Yemen's internationally recognised government on Saturday. If verified, it would be the first vessel lost since Houthi militants began targeting commercial shipping in November. A government statement said the ship sank in the southern Red Sea on Friday night and warned of an environmental catastrophe. The ship was carrying more than 41,000 tons of fertilizer when it came under attack, the US military Central Command has said. The Houthis say they are acting in solidarity with Palestinians in Gaza. On Monday, a Yemeni government team visited the Ruby Mar, a Belize-flagged UK-owned cargo ship, and said it was partially submerged and could sink within a couple of days. The US military previously said the attack could significantly damage the freighter and caused an 18-mile oil slick. Houthi attacks have prompted shipping firms to divert vessels onto the longer, more expensive route around southern Africa. They have also stoked fears that the Israel-Hamas war could spread, destabilising the wider Middle East. The United States and Britain began striking Houthi targets in Yemen in January, in retaliation for the attacks on shipping in the Red Sea, Bab el-Mandab Strait, and Gulf of Aden.
I think that it was sadly inevitable. The Houthis have continued to launch these reckless attacks with no regard for the well-being of innocent civilians who are transiting through the Red Sea, and now they have unfortunately and tragically killed innocent civilians. And so the United States will continue to hold the Houthis accountable for their attacks, which have not just disrupted international commerce, not just disrupted the freedom of navigation in international waters, and not just endangered seafarers, but now tragically killed a number of them. So we will continue to hold them accountable, and we call on governments around the world to do the same. Those reports, which we saw and reviewed, are obviously heartbreaking, and it confirms what you heard the Secretary say yesterday, that not only is the situation on the ground right now in Gaza unacceptable, but it's unsustainable. It cannot continue this way. And so You have seen the United States take action to airdrop food supplies in. You have seen us take action to fund the delivery of humanitarian assistance. You have seen us announce that we are exploring a maritime option to deliver humanitarian assistance through new routes, but it still is incumbent upon the government of Israel to do more as well. Now, we did see an increase in the number of trucks that went into Israel yesterday. Around 250, 260 trucks made it in through Rafah and Kerem Shalom. That's an improvement over where we have been. We have seen some improvement in the distribution, but we need to see dramatically more go in. We need to see it go in not just through Rafah and Kerem Shalom, but we need to see it go in through a crossing in the north. And we have made very clear to the government of Israel that's what we expect, and that we expect to see improvement. And as the president said, there can be no excuses. The United States has long worked with CARICOM and Haitian leaders on the path to restoring democratic order in Haiti through free and fair elections, inclusive governance, and power sharing, which will give them the opportunity to democratically elect a prime minister. And as the situation on the ground grows increasingly dire, we in CARICOM have continued to call on stakeholders, including the prime minister, to make concessions in the interest of the Haitian people. So we are not calling on him or pushing for him to resign, but we are urging him to expedite the transition to an empowered and inclusive governance structure that will move with urgency to help the country prepare for a multinational security support mission to address the security situation and pave the way for free and fair elections. I think the strike is yet another reminder of how Russia continues to strike Ukraine every single day. And it's a reminder of Ukraine's need for air defense interceptors, and it's a reminder that the United States Congress needs to take action, as we have called on them to do, to support Ukraine in its fight against Russian aggression.
Yemen's Houthi rebels have launched their first fatal attack on shipping. Now, the Houthis have been attacking shipping since November. They seized one vessel, they've launched missiles and bomb-carrying drones at other ones. And just in the last couple of days as well, we've seen the first ship that they've attacked sink in the Red Sea. This has really disrupted global shipping. The Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden, and the Suez Canal that ultimately links onto Europe is crucial for energy shipments and cargo shipments. Now, the Houthis say they're going to continue these attacks until Israel stops its war on Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Now, the one thing to keep in mind, though, is that these Houthi attacks have been more and more random. They are attacking vessels that largely have nothing to do with either Israel, the United States, or Britain. The U.S. has been launching a series of airstrikes to try to degrade the Houthis' abilities to launch these attacks, but just in the last couple of days, these new attacks have shown that the Houthis are capable of continuing to launch these assaults, putting shipping at risk, and it's also had a knock-on effect. We're seeing less aid get into war-torn Sudan and East Africa. We're also seeing Egypt, which is under a tremendous economic pressure right now, see less revenue coming in from the Suez Canal. All this together just shows how dangerous the situation is in the wider region and how these attacks could escalate the ongoing Israel-Hamas war.